Purity, faith, and love can never replace wisdom in any area of our human endeavor, especially when it comes to relationships, love, and marital spaces. It's another session of my conversations with singles, and today I'm taking my case for wisdom a little deeper. In contradistinction with love, purity, and faith, I'm still saying that wisdom is principal, wisdom is superior, wisdom is indispensable. 5 virgins, they all had purity, they all had faith, they all had love, but the absence of wisdom made the presence of faith, purity, and love useless and of no consequence whatsoever. Now, there is a relationship between wisdom and curiosity or inquisitiveness. You can disconnect them one from the other. Now, in a typical example is a case in point in Numbers chapter 36, verse 6. The Bible gives us the understanding that there were 5 girls, daughters of Zelophehad. They asked an incredible question. It was an era where women were neither numbered nor heard. And so their father had died, he had no son, and there was no way in terms with respect to the laws of the time that they were ever going to be able to inherit that which belonged to their father. And so they confronted Moses and they asked a profound question in that respect. And Moses had to go and consult with God because this provision was not covered in the law of the time. And so God sent back a profound response to the daughters of Zelophehad through Moses. And for me, that response is so profound, that response is so critical for our day and for our time. God said to them through Moses that they should marry whom they think best. Because the complexity was that if they marry outside of the nation of Israel, if they marry outside of their immediate family, they probably would not be qualified for inheritance because they're going to be bearing another name. But God expressly said to them, let them marry whomsoever they think best. Only let it come from within the tribe of their father, whom they think best. God was granting them leave to use their mind to judge, to determine, to decide who is best suitable to them. And that response is still profound for our day and time. Hear me, and hear me loud and clear. You can never get it right in marriage if you are not a thinker. No, you got to think. It doesn't matter whether you're thinking with your heart, whether you're thinking with your mind, whether you're thinking with your spirit. You just have to be a thinker, working with facts, working with data, working with information, and working with all that you need, all your due diligence to be able to make an informed decision. This is so profound. Now, there is an intuitive or a revelatorial dimension to wisdom. It's so important when I talk about thinking with your spirit, with your heart, with your mind. There is a revelatorial, an intuitive dimension to wisdom in which it is your spirit that is involved, not your mind. This is so fantastic. As a matter of fact, if you look at Isaiah chapter 11, verse 2, it talks about wisdom in terms of a spirit. It talks about the spirit of wisdom. It tells you that wisdom is a conglomeration. It is beyond the human mind. It is beyond just our thinking faculty. It is at the point where there are faculties in the human spirit that engage the vehicle of wisdom. This is so profoundly exemplified in Daniel chapter 2 from verse 11 to 25. The king of the day had a dream. He couldn't remember the dream. He couldn't talk about the interpretation of the dream. He summoned all them wise men and demanded for the dream that he had forgotten, and then demanded for the interpretation. When nobody could provide the dream, an edict, an executive order was signed to eliminate all the wise men of Babylon. And so when the executioners had come to Daniel and to his friends to execute, Daniel was like, what's going on? Daniel asked the question. You can't take wisdom away from inquisitiveness. Daniel said, why is the king's edict or verdict so severe? And then when they gave him the explanation, he asked to see the king. He went in, he saw the king. He asked for time. Wisdom asks questions. Wisdom always asks for time. And then when the king granted him time, he went in with his friends and they prayed. They sought mercy from God. They asked for insight into what this dream was and what the interpretation was. And then in the sleep of the night, Daniel had a dream where this secret was revealed alongside the interpretation. When Daniel was expressing his gratitude to God, this is what he said: I thank you, O my God, for you have given us wisdom and strength. Daniel called that revelation, he described that revelation as wisdom, as a product of wisdom and strength. So it is the reason why I talk about wisdom in terms of its intuitive dimension, its revelatorial dimension. Wisdom is like light in a dark place. It's like something is covered and then the veil is lifted and then suddenly you can see direction. You just come to the place of knowing. You just come to the place of inexplainable knowing. You just come to the place where you connect, you get access to information that is not even available within the limits of the human mind, within the orbit of the human intellectuality. Wisdom is profound insight into truth. Wisdom.